Dun 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 na 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 na. Hello gorgeous, and welcome to a brand new segment that I am delighted to announce is called, drumroll please, Decks and the City. In other words, I am going to be reading tarot cards for you from the Tarot and the City deck. I don't know if you can tell, but there are teeny tiny little cosmopolitans all over the back of these cards. And I'm going to do a reading for you for January. I'm going to pull 3 cards about 3 Sex and the City themes that I think might apply to your life right now too. So the first card that I've pulled is the Carrie's column card. And that is if Carrie was sitting at her laptop thinking about what she could write about your life and the themes in it right now, what would that card be? So let's see what we got. So for this question, the card that came up is the 10 of Pentacles. And the art of this card is that scene where Miranda has just moved to Brooklyn. She's standing in the kitchen and she's looking out the window and she sees Steve, and Brady, and they're playing in the yard and the dog is being chased around. And she's realizing that everything that she wanted has actually come to fruition. She's actually got everything that she wants, but maybe it just doesn't look the way that she thought it would look. And I think a very common theme for the 10 of Pentacles is, it is like you've got all the stuff that you want, you have all the financial security, you have all the material things, but it doesn't necessarily look the way you want it to, and we can let that confuse us. We can let the fact that maybe this isn't quite as glamorous and dog hair free as I was assuming. Maybe I did have to move to Brooklyn to get all the things that I want, and that actually that's a really beautiful thing. So in January, if Carrie was writing a column about your life, she'd be writing about the fact that you do actually have everything that you want. And maybe it's a case of changing your perspective, looking around at the abundance that you already have, noticing what is massive, beautiful, and abundant in your life already, and feeling a sense of gratitude for that. And if, as I'm saying these words, this is like a hard no for you, you're like, no, Gala, you don't understand. That's not my life. I certainly do not have everything I want. I want to challenge you to do a gratitude practice every morning. And if you're feeling really crazy, start doing the magical morning practice again. And as you probably remember, you talk about what you're grateful for first, then what your day looks like as if it's the past tense and all the things you want to manifest, and then how you want your future to look in the past tense. Speak it into your phone, do a little audio recording. You can even tell it to ChatGPT if you're feeling a little bit Aquarius rising with it. It's one of my favorite ways to use ChatGPT. So this card is really saying, hey, motherfucker, wake up and smell the coffee. Notice that you have so much more than maybe you once did. This is a beautiful place in your life. It's a moment to reflect and be grateful and appreciative, not come from a place of constant scarcity, because we know that that is exhausting. The second card I pulled for you for the month of January is, should I date like Samantha or like Charlotte? Should I be more bold, or should I have more patience? Should I wait for my prince to come? And so interestingly, the card that came up is the Hermit. And in this artwork, this is Carrie sitting alone at the cafe drinking a glass of wine. She takes her sunglasses off. She doesn't have a book. There are no distractions. She's just dealing with being by herself and being herself. So you may recall that this scene happens after the trauma of her single and fabulous ? New York Magazine cover, where she's out all night, she shows up in a poncho with Stanford's bitchy new boyfriend, and she looks like something that got caught in a drain. And she's dealing with the fact that after this happens, all of her friends end up going out on dates and faking orgasms and doing things that they never usually would have done. That the ? From the single and fabulous cover left off the cover and into their lives. They started doubting themselves. And so when I say, to the cards, should I date like Samantha or should I date like Charlotte? And we get the Hermit, the answer is, you need to be by yourself. You need patience, you need self-discovery, you need radical self-acceptance. It might be a really good time to do some tapping on what does it mean for you to be by yourself in the world at this moment. Might not be where you want it to be. And you're like, bitch, you just pulled me the 10 of Pentacles. These things don't play together. But actually, you can have so much abundance in your world. And the only way to be abundant is not through romantic relationships. There may be an abundance of other amazing things in your life. And because the love piece is missing or it's AWOL right now, you might feel like, I have nothing. You have so much. And this card is really giving you a strong message. Like, this is a strong message to get the Hermit is like, no, spend some time by yourself. Feather your nest, like read some books, be by yourself. And something that I always like to do when I'm in a single space is to watch documentaries and movies about women who were never married, who did amazing things. And it reminds you that life is not all about love and romance and relationships. That's obviously a beautiful piece of it, but you know what? The truth is they come and they go. And one of the messages that Sex and the City gives us is that our friendships are the things that really last. And again, not all of them last, but if you're lucky, you've got like 1 or 2 people who are always there, who will always pick up the phone. And so nurturing your own inner world and nurturing your friendships is a really important piece of living a beautiful life. So I actually love that this card came up. It just says like, cool your jets. Maybe you don't need to get back on the apps right now. Maybe what you really need is to take a walk every morning, do some gratitude journaling, and just be in your own energy. Because when you love who you are, when you're so comfortable in your own energy, in your own space, you've got your fucking vibe going, you're like, I don't need anyone's permission to do anything. Oh, I'm going to Turkey next week, bye-bye. You will not be tempted to settle for some mid motherfucker. You will not rearrange your life for some useless hump, as my mother would say. And you will feel free to actually choose someone that really enhances your life, because you know that you have the ability to make your life so spectacular on your own. And that is the best feeling. So, the Hermit. Like, doubt it and you'll regret it. Now, our third card is the Manolo card. And this is asking, what can I do to treat myself this week? And again, this is a very stern message. This card is Carrie crying in her apartment with Charlotte. She's just read the New York Times wedding announcement of Big and Natasha the movie, and she's really upset, and it's the 3 of Swords. And so what this card is really telling you is the best way to treat yourself is to heal your heartbreak, to look at what you've lost, to move through your grief, to accept where you are, and to let go of the old memories, the old pains, the old heartbreaks that might be lingering. And you know, I feel like these 3 cards are very strong and very clear. But I think that the 3 of Swords comes up and it's about, you know, romantic pain or betrayal or heartbreak. And when it comes up, it's telling us that these are things that are serious, they're important, they can be traumatic, and we need to work through them to release them so that we can move on happily, so that we can have a beautiful life. And so that the next thing that we get into, we're not dragging those old memories with us. We're not dragging the fantasy that we had with that person into the new relationship. We're not remembering where they said, oh, this is fine, but it actually wasn't, and they kind of punished you subtly, and you're like second guessing your new partner, and do they mean what they say they mean, or is this just like a weird mind game? This card says, you gotta clear that stuff off. You want a really nice blank slate so that when you do move into something else, when you do start dating, when you do meet someone that you're really into, you're not pulling your old stories, your old memories, your old stuff. And if there has been betrayal or cheating or a mistrust issue, then you're really remembering that that was then, and it's not now. And so many people have a bad relationship or a few bad relationships, and they project that onto the next person. And we've seen that so much in Sex and the City. Like, Carrie projected her big stuff onto Aiden. It ruined the relationship with Aiden. We so often do this, where we take what happened in the past and make it our current partner's problem, and it's really not fair. So if we want to be happy in relationships, we have to take people as they are and not tell ourselves a story about some mythology that's not even true. So these three cards together, I feel, are telling you such a clear story. This is a story of noticing what you have and being grateful for it. It's a story of spending time alone and really enjoying your time alone so that you're not in a place of scarcity when you come to meet someone new. And it's a story of releasing the ghosts, acknowledging the ghosts, letting them go so that you don't drag them with you. And I think if you're able to do those three things this month, you're setting yourself up for such a beautiful year. The astrology of 2025, I have been told, is whoop-woo, deeply crazy, but we don't have to let that drag us down. So if you do these three things, I think that you'll find yourself to be in a really beautiful position to make the most of 2025. I hope this was helpful. I love you very much, and I'll see you next month for another edition of Dicks and the City. Bye.